Okay, just wanted to figure the camera thing out. It's all figured now, so we can begin our chapter discussion, which is prepositions. So good evening, all our MCA folks, NIMCET folks. I hope your prep is going well. We have covered a good set of topics of grammar. So I hope you're practicing them, because grammar in the exam is asked in the form of spot the error. Now the error could be any of the grammar topics. So for that, you need to be thorough with all the grammar topics. So for that, we will be focusing on each grammar topic individually, and then we'll be covering all their rules, all their exceptions really well. So if you do get a question, you do not get confused or are not focusing or not looking at something that's completely alien to you. Okay, CET grammar level is although very easy. The grammar questions that they ask is very surface level, not very deep, not very niche. So all the rules will be covered. So let us quickly begin. I will just put myself right up there so you can see all the other questions. There we go. We're doing prepositions today. We have definitely done parts of speech before this. Prepositions is actually one of the 8 parts of speeches. What is its function? It's right in the name. The function of prepositions is right here. It's all about positioning. The laptop is on the table. Your legs are under the desk. Okay, all the positional words are prepositions. They tell you the position of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. So the preposition as a part of speech is an important component of the English language. It is a word or a set of words. So it can also be more than one word. For example, on top of. That is also a preposition. So sirf on nahi, on top of is also a preposition. And it tells you a relationship between a noun or a pronoun and other parts of the sentence. Now, prepositions have different functions. I mean, they look easy and they look very straightforward, but they're not very straightforward. Okay, they have multiple functions. One of them is the obvious one, which is telling the position. Now, they can tell you position of multiple things. They can tell you a position of time, or they can tell you, I want you to meet me in January at 5 p.m. Okay, on a Sunday. So January, Sunday and 5 p.m. all of them are times, but हर तीनों time limit के लिए अलग preposition use हुआ है. So that is why prepositions are divided in different sets. Preposition of time, preposition of place, and we've also got preposition of movement. So time में आते हैं ये सारे in, on, at, for, since. In 2 years, on a Monday, at 10 a.m. The class is at 10 a.m. and my father or our family has been living here since 1970. All of these are prepositions of time. ये सिर्फ समय से related हैं. Next आते हैं prepositions of place. Preposition of place are in, on and at. Now हर preposition fix नहीं है. Prepositions सेम prepositions अलग अलग फंक्शन के लिए भी यूज हो सकते हैं. वन इज इन, ऑन, एट. ये टाइम और प्लेस दोनों के लिए यूज होते हैं. आई लिव इन इंडिया. आई लिव ऑन द लिंकिंग रोड. मीट मी एट द स्टेशन. सी, हर लोकेशन के लिए अलग preposition है. So the difference between the three, we will discuss it ahead. Next is prepositions of movement. Okay, movement, action. So head towards the mall or head to the mall. ठीक है? Head to the town, towards town, and towards disarmament. All of these are talking and focusing on the movement, on the action. So these were all quite literal prepositions telling you position of a time, place, or movement. But we've also got idiomatic expression. They're called phrasal verb. For example, if you run into your friend. Now technically running into means किसी में भिड़ जाना, right? Into मतलब किसी के अंदर. That's what the preposition is. I-N-T-O. This is a preposition and into means किसी के अंदर. So if you are running into someone, आप किसी के अंदर नहीं भाग रहे हैं या किसी से भिड़ नहीं रहे हैं. When you're running into someone, you're meeting them unexpectedly. So run into there is used not literally. अगर literally होता तो वो preposition होता. But if it's not used literally, then it's an idiomatic expression. It's a phrasal verb. So what are phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are preposition combines with other words, more specifically verbs, to create a meaning completely different from that of the combining words. Let me take a very simple example, which is, look at this one. Look after. Look after यानी किसी के पीछे देखना. Literal meaning. But if you're looking after your little brother, आप उसके पीछे नहीं देख रहे हो, आप उसका ध्यान रख रहे हो. तो look after तब वो word हो गया एक phrasal verb. Guys, I hope you can hear me. If you can't, please let me know. Okay? If there's any glitches in the video or the audio, please let me know. We'll also be practicing a couple of questions at the end. Okay, so those are phrasal verbs. The resulting combination creates what amounts to a new verb, which creates problems for those who have English as a second language. So if English is not really your first language, you might have problem in discerning the two, in differentiating the two. Why? Because when I write something as look down, I look down on you. I'm not really looking नीचे, तुम्हारे नीचे नहीं देख रही हूं मैं. I look down on you मतलब मैं तुम्हारी इज्जत नहीं करती. Okay, I look at you very disrespectfully. I do not respect you. इसी का opposite होता है look up. Okay, I look up to my father. Okay, इसका मतलब आप पापा के ऊपर नहीं देख रहे हैं, आप पापा की इज्जत करते हैं. You respect them, you idealize them, and that is why you use look up. So that is a phrasal verb. It creates a completely different meaning from the actual preposition. And it is made up of two things always, a verb and a preposition. See, down and up are prepositions and look is a verb. Let me take up some common examples. So these are literal functions. He took off his shoes. Yash looks up at the star. Okay, she put the cat out. उठा के बाहर रख दिया उसने. Now there are also idiomatic expressions, which are these. The plane took off an hour ago. Took off. Okay, now took off इधर होता है उतार देना. मैंने अपने जूते उतार दिए. I took off my shoes. But the plane took off an hour ago. Plane ने कुछ उतारा नहीं है अपने ऊपर से. The plane, left. So departed can be also expressed through took off. This is a phrasal verb. Yash looks up new words every day. Now, looks up, एक तो directly ऊपर देखना, the other looks up means to search. ठीक है? You're looking up something on YouTube, you're looking up a new recipe on YouTube. So that's a phrasal verb. She put the cat out, यानी उठा के बाहर रख देना, but she put out the fire. Put out हो गया phrasal verb because that means उसने आग ऊपर उठा के बाहर नहीं रखी, उसने आग बुझा दी, which is extinguished. So these are the two functions, and this is why students usually find prepositions very confusing. But it's not very confusing. One's literal, the other one's not in the literal sense. It has its own meaning. So to master phrasal verbs, there is only one trick. जितने phrasal verbs का रट्टा मार सकते हो, please मारो, क्योंकि हर phrasal verb का नया meaning होता है. ठीक है, उसका कोई स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है, कोई ट्रिक नहीं है. हर फ्रेजल वर्ब जैसे हर एक ईडियम का एक अपना ही मतलब है. Okay, the apple of my eye. In no way can you infer कि apple of my eye means to be very special to someone. There is no possible trick or strategy for that. Similarly, phrasal verb also has no particular strategy. So to master them, I want you to mug up as many as you can, just like vocabulary. Now, these are a couple of examples of phrasal verbs. Get on means to climb, take off to depart, to check in is to register, pass away is to die, pass out is to faint, run into means to meet someone by chance, look after to take care of, give up to surrender. So these are common examples of phrasal verbs. Common example of literal prepositions are these: above, across, after, against, along, among, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, by, down, during, ये सब alphabetical हैं. For, from, in front of, inside. Okay, I mean, we can keep going on, but these are some common prepositions that we've been using for a while now. But कभी कभी छोटी छोटी nuanced differences होते हैं इनमें. So now let us look at them. Okay, so first one are these. So for and since are prepositions of time. At, on, in are prepositions of both time and place. So how do we know कहाँ लगाना है इसे? I have a wonderful trick for you. Look at this table. This one small table can be easily used to distinguish the usage between at, on, in. ठीक है? Simply focus on the area they are covering. At covers the tiniest area of the triangle, hence at is used for specific places, specific addresses, specific locations. ठीक है? So meet me at Geo Gardens, meet me at 16 MG Road. अगर सिर्फ रोड होता तो ऑन होता, meet me on the road. पर अगर रोड का नाम यूज कर रहे हो तो meet me at 16 MG Road. If there's a specific location like Phoenix Mall, then meet me at Phoenix Mall, meet me at Mumbai Airport. Then similarly, the largest area is covered by in, so in will be used for large areas being area, city, country, state. Meet me in Bandra, in Delhi, in Singapore, in Gujarat. All the big areas. You can see the comparison. Then we've got medium areas because on covers medium space. So on is used for medium areas. वो क्या क्या होते हैं? जो ज्यादा बड़े नहीं हैं और ज्यादा स्पेसिफिक भी नहीं है. So floor, street, road, इन सब के लिए on the 13th floor, on the MG street, and on the highway. So this is a simple way to remember the difference between at, on, and in. Now, the same table, but here I've also discussed preposition of time. Now, how to discern the usage of time. At is used for hour and minutes, and it's also used sometimes to say at noon or at night. Meet me at noon, meet me at night. If you're ever confused, just use a very simple sentence and check what sounds correct. If you have been speaking English for a long time, if you consume English media, at least you have an idea to discern what is right and what sounds right and what sounds wrong. Next is on. On is used for days of the week. So on a Sunday, on a Monday, on a Wednesday. And it's also used for dates. So on 13th of February. In कहाँ लगता है? In 2015, in 2016, in 1979, in January, in February, in morning, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So this is where you use in and at for time and for place. This is a very simple trick where you will never forget the difference and the usage between the three. Now let's move on. Now these are different prepositions. They are also prepositions of place, but they are on and above and under and below. बहुत confusing होता है कि book is kept on the table या book is kept above the table. My legs are under the desk or my legs are below the desk. Not very difficult. It's very easy. On is used for two things when they are touching. So when they are in direct contact, then you use on. So there is a book on the desk. The cat is sleeping on the bed. But if they are not touching, kahin bhi upar hai, then it's above. For example, this pen, it's directly on my head, so the pen is on my head. But it's anywhere above, so you say the pen is above my head. So if the sun is directly above our heads, I see blue sky through the skylight above me. Similarly, under and below. Under for closer touching, below is for lower position. So the temperature has dropped below, or the temperature is below 5 degrees, naki under 5 degrees. But my shoes are under the bed, the saucer is under the cup. So these are again some of the most confusing set of prepositions, but now not anymore. On for touching, under for touching, above and below, no touching. So when it comes to temperature, water level, all of that we use above and below. Now, this is again another set. I've covered all the common prepositions and its most confusing other set of preposition or its usage. So on and upon may be confusion here. On is used for things at rest, whereas upon is used to things in motion. So the dog jumped on the table or upon the table. It should be upon the table, naki on the table, because dog is clearly in motion. But when something is not in motion, then you use on. It is sometimes used idiomatically also. So once upon a time. Then till and until are used in cases of time and is also used in case of, and to is used in case of place. Naki in case of time. For example, until 1918, women in Britain were not allowed to vote, but we went till London last year. Yeah, until London last year? No. We went to London last year. It's only used in case of place. Then there's in. Now in is also used in cases of time, but usually in non-specific. So meet me in a month, in an year, or in few days. We will be there in a month. He will complete the task in 2 weeks. जब मेरे पास specific नहीं है, अगर मेरा काम मंडे को खत्म हो जाता है, then I will be done by Monday या on Monday. But because it's not specified, I will just simply say I will be done in 2 days, in few weeks. Now this is also again very confusing. The bullet was shot with a gun or by a gun. The bullet was shot with the hitman or by the hitman. So very simple. With is used to denote the instrument and by is used to denote the agent. So the bullet was shot with a gun by the hitman. He was shot with a pistol by a criminal. She was frightened by the noise, naki with the noise, because with is not an instrument. Here it's the direct agent. Now, since is used common, it's a very common preposition of time. We did it in the beginning. Since is used before a noun or a phrase denoting some point of time and is preceded by a verb in the perfect tense. It is always in the perfect tense. For example, I have been very busy. This is a perfect tense. We will be doing tenses also, so you will have a better idea then. But for now, please remember, since is always preceded by a verb in the perfect tense. I have been very busy since I came back from my holiday. I have been busy since perfect plus since. So it's always going to be a partner. Next, Beside and besides. Again, very confusing. The book is beside the desk या besides the desk. Well, S वाला preposition नहीं है, बिना S वाला preposition है. Beside का मतलब होता है by the side of, but besides का मतलब होता है in addition to. So besides apple, I also like banana. Come and sit beside me. But besides her novels and poems, she published a number of stories. Now, one last rule: in is used before a noun denoting a period of time to indicate at the end of. So, in is also used for non specific times, but it is also used to denote at the end of. यानी in 2 hours we will vacate this place. यानी 2 घंटे के अंदर हम खत्म कर देंगे या खाली कर देंगे. Within मतलब 2 घंटे के अंदर, in मतलब 2 घंटे के बाद. So that's the difference between two. Within 2 hours we will vacate this place, यानी 2 घंटे से पहले भी कर सकते हैं, पर in 2 hours मतलब 2 घंटे के बाद ही होगा, यानी मिनिमम 2 घंटा तो हमें लगेगा. Alright, so these were all the rules for prepositions. Okay, now just a quick revision. This was the rule for in, since, with, by. Then there was until, till, again in, then there was on and upon. Then we did under and below, on and above, in, on, at for both time and place. Okay, so these are some of the most common preposition at and its usage, and I've covered these because these are the most confusing ones. बाकी जो इसके अलावा हैं वो काफी straightforward हैं. In front of, inside, next to, off. बाकी सब between. Okay, between is used for two, and among is used for more than two. So please park among the two poles. No, between the two poles. Right, above we had covered, below we have covered. So now let's practice. Let's practice together. A quick revision for phrasal verbs also. Phrasal verbs हमेशा verb plus preposition से बनते हैं. So if I have taken one common verb which is run, इसके ही अलग अलग Okay, run into यानी किसी को unexpectedly मिलना. Run after, किसी के पीछे मत भागना, but किसी को if you're running after success, आप success के पीछे नहीं भाग रहे हैं, but you are trying to pursue success. Similarly, running for, again किसी के पीछे नहीं भाग रहे हैं, but when you're running for presidency, you're trying to participate. Similarly, बहुत सारे verbs के साथ बन सकता है, बहुत सारे. Look up, look down, look into. When you're looking into the matter, you're not looking inside, but when you're looking into the matter, you're investigating the matter. Similarly, put out, put up. When you're putting up with your sister, उसको ऊपर नहीं रख रहे हो, आप उसको झेल रहे हो. You know, I put up with my younger sibling. You are tolerating them. When you're putting out a fire, you are extinguishing a fire. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे बन सकते हैं. हर वर्ब के साथ यूजुअली preposition जोड़ के होते ही हैं phrasal verbs. So I want you to learn as many as you can. Put in. See, put in the efforts. अंदर कुछ नहीं डालना है. Put in means you contribute. So there are endless. One way to master them is please kindly read a lot of literature, in the sense any set of books, because phrasal verbs are very commonly used, and note down them. लिखो इन्हें, एक जर्नल बनाओ छोटा सा, एंड न्यू वर्ड्स, न्यू इडियम्स, न्यू फ्रेजल वर्ब्स, इन्हें एक जगह लिखते जाओ और यूज करो. That's the best way to master phrasal verbs. Okay, I hope you're ready for the practice. Let's begin. All right, 10 questions. I I have a few people here, so I hope you guys are practicing. I will give you time till, how long do you guys need? I think 5 minutes will be enough. Yeah. Can we come back at this time to discuss our answers? While you're solving, put the answers in the chat because I will have a look at them. Oh, what's happening? This is a practice of both phrasal verbs and prepositions. So please be careful, okay, if it's literal meaning or if it's an idiomatic meaning. Okay, for example, can you look up my child for a while or look after my child for a while? Now look up and look after दोनों ही phrasal verbs हैं और दोनों ही सही हैं. ठीक है, look up भी grammatically सही है, look after भी grammatically सही है. But here you need to understand the context. Look up means to search and look after means to take care of. What fits more in this context? It's obviously about taking care. So look up will make no sense. The correct answer should be, can you look after my child for a while? So please be careful. Use logical cues to come to the answer. There is no way to master prepositions but to learn them and also practice a bunch of questions. Okay, let's get to the questions then. Ravi graduated of school, yeah, from school. He's obviously graduated from school, so the answer for this should be from. Can you look after my child for a while? The store ran out of milk this morning. When you're running out of something, मतलब वो खत्म हो जाता है. That's Another phrasal verb. The fireman put out the fire. Put out means to extinguish. Be organized, throw away या फिर throw away. साथ में या अलग, दोनों का अलग मतलब है. Throw away cups are disposable cups and throw away यानी literally उठा के फेंक देना. Here we're talking about disposable cups, so the first one makes more sense. I have my handful या hands full right now. Handful yani thoda sa, hands full yani when your hands are completely occupied. Here the latter makes most sense. Please try on the clothes or off the clothes. Okay, you take off your clothes, which is actually double F, but OF is not really fitting in any of the context. Okay, please take off the clothes. Yeah, please try on the clothes. Yani pehenna. It was a well thought into plan. No, it was a well thought of plan. Okay, now before we depart, here are some homework questions. I want you to use the similar set of rules that we have covered. Use your knowledge of phrasal verbs to choose the right preposition from the given set of words. All right, that's it from my end. I will see you guys next week for our next grammar lecture. If you have any doubts, I want you to use the comment section to express them. If you have doubts in the previous chapters or in today's lecture, please express them in the comment section. I will address them then and there. And till then, please keep practicing. Please start your questions, start your sectionals, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much.